Andrew S. here, and today I'm going to be doing a special video talking about a request that I got from my good friend down from in the US, Mighty Mike Bear. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be talking. I'll mention some of his work so you guys can check that out. But yeah, Mike suggested that I talk about Saturnus's album Martyre. Now, they're out of Denmark, they're doom metal, but they also have, this album, it definitely changes up. There's definitely some diversity in this, but they definitely have like a more overall doomy melodic death tone. So it's really cool, and let's get into Martyre. Now this album, if it ever did feel like, if there was an ever album that did feel like the ebb and flow of a river, this is it. And a great example is right off the bat with the intro piece 7. It's warm and poetic, then the mood changes for the sort of the first official track. I don't know if official is the right way, because instrumental piece or intro piece. But anyways, Inflame Thy Heart is the first full track with its dark, painful vocals. Both the music changes, but has music changes that sort of resonate back to 7, so it's sort of connected to it in a little degree. With its musical poetry partway into the song, it sort of changes, and that's where I felt like the lead guitar actually took over where the vocals left off. Actually, the guitar felt like, to me, that it was starting to sing. It became the vocals. I really like that when it sort of has that sort of poetic feel, that you feel the notes as if you would feel the lyrics being sung, right? Each note is like a sort of a syllable. So I really thought that was nice, and sort of continued, that sort of the trajectory, or not trajectory because that would go into the next song, but leaving the same theme as 7, so they sort of connect and blend together. Whereas the next song, Empty Handed, changes the mood drastically, in my opinion. Vastly different energy, tremendous different feel in the guitar tones, which affects the mood big time, in my opinion. The vocals are still angry and gritty, but I felt like with the tempo and the guitar sound change, that it almost makes like the vocal sound uplifted, that there's a bit of this vibrancy in this song, and that's how like the mood all of a sudden sort of shifts and changes that diversity on this album. And it does continue into this next song where the lyrics become dark, which is perfectly appropriate for the song Noir. Absolutely flawless, having the lyrics so dark. Noir, yeah, I don't know if you get it, but anyways, this song beholds such an exquisite guitar piece, and that roto vibe guitar tone, I just love this. Swallow the Sun uses it, and I absolutely think it adds such a tremendous effect on the listener. It creates its own visual. It changes the dimension of the song. It adds to the atmosphere of the song and the emotions of even the vocals and stuff like that. It has a massive impact on my opinion, and it really does a lot in Noir as well. It soaks up all the atmosphere and sort of heaves it back at you in this black, chilling energy. Absolutely really cool that that roto vibe, and being an Empty-Handed in Noir, it has such an interesting mood. And Empty-Handed and Noir, I think, really shake up the album. It really changes things. It really creates a unique atmosphere. Because I feel like in Flame Thy Heart, you feel like it's just a more melodic, death doom sort of album or feel, but then they shift it, they change it up with these ones. I really thought that was really unique and creates a lot of diversity, but they also blend well. It has a bit of the gothic feel, and those doom songs do have a gothic feel to a degree. So anyways, I'm blabbering on about the feel of the album. Let's move on to A Poem Written in Moonlight. This is one of the songs that harnesses every attribute of a perfect doom metal song. You got these methodical pieces with tranquil guitars and spoken word transitioning into sensual, piercing leads and painful vocals, then further transitioning into heavier riffs and deeper vocals, all while altering the melodies more aggressively on this track. Really unique. I feel like it has all the elements of a perfect doom metal song, like I said, and it just captures all of that. Like if you wanted to listen to doom metal and you said, what's a great track to start on? A Poem Written in Moonlight is one of those songs that captures that all. And I think Saturnus on this track did a wonderful job on that. Now I'm going to jump down to two songs that I sort of felt like were a chapter, even though they have like a different overall sort of feel to them. They just felt like they connected together for some reason. I don't know why exactly. Maybe it's because of the lyrics. That could be a great possibility. But anyways, Lost My Way and Lost in Memoriam I felt like were a chapter, and Lost My Way takes a different direction. Fast, angry, painful, captures many emotions. Then you slide into the dimly lit Lost in Memoriam, where its varying alterations of the lead melody act as sort of like a river, and how it flows high and low, poetic and aggressive as the song goes along, and the vocals sort of grow and recede back and forth. And I felt like the keyboards were actually a really pivotal part of this song, where it adds just beautiful dimension and works flawlessly with the vocals and sort of helps magnify one another here. And I felt like the drums actually did a lot of the same. They add a lot of great emotion and atmosphere, or added to the atmospheric pieces of this album, or of these two songs, and did quite a bit. But actually, yeah, the drum work is quite diverse, considering the direction of the songs and the tempos and the aggressiveness and the emotional sort of tranquil pieces. So the drum work is actually very essential to really capturing a lot of the emotions and atmospheres on these songs. Now that I just think of it off the top of my head. Now I'm going to jump down to Thus My Heart Weepeth for Thee. Kind of tricky song to pronounce, but this I felt like was a bit of the magnum opus for Martyr's sorrowful anguish on this. This one I felt like captured the pain within this album entirely, and this is the one that sort of expressed it the most heartfelt. I really felt like the vocal pain was a smidgen more intense. Probably attribute that to the potency of the guitars. They had a bit more grit to them. The lyrics I felt like really leapt out. They just screamed at me. Did really affect me visually as well. Now I want to say, like, when the drums, sometimes they hit these cymbals and they hit like a big crash cymbal, or they hit the splash. Sometimes when you hit that right, it really magnifies the vocals or a guitar lead or something like that, and really creates more, magnifies the pain and things like that. If you use them at the right moment, it sort of just adds to this backdrop and the atmosphere. So I really thought that the drums were really important on this track. Overall, I think Martyre is really unique, quite diverse and eclectic in the collection of songs here. Just the straight up doom, a lot of maybe like tranquil, poetic, peaceful parts, and then you have songs like Empty Handed and Noir that have like a bit more of a gothic up tempo, not necessarily aggressive, but more, I don't know if vibrant's the right word, but more upbeat almost songs. So there's quite a diversity coming from track to track, and they transition nicely though. It's not just like terribly abrupt and things like that. I really like what they did on, what Saturnus did on Martyre, and I hope you guys check out all the songs and the links in the description below. Also, Mike mentioned to me that Saturnus, after quite a while, is putting out a new album. So I'm gonna show you these guys here. Speaking of Mike, we got his project, the Shadow Projector. I really like this. Is absolutely phenomenal. I love this. It's only a 5-track EP, but I love this, and this is awesome too. This is so unique and fun to listen to because of everything that's just within the music, and just if you're a musician, drums, timing, guitar leads, techniques, all that type of stuff, you're gonna get a whale of a time on this from Artisan. This is absolutely awesome. The Stain of Life. I really like the album art too. It really goes hand in hand with the music and stuff. So I hope you guys, I'm gonna put the links to the stuff as well in the description. Also, I'll have the videos that I've talked about these two albums up here for you guys to check out as well. So if you have any suggestions like Saturnus and their album Martyre, let me know in the comments below or on Facebook. Until next time, folks, have some heavy listening.